What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. It's Tuesday, June 25th. We are approaching 11 a.m. and today marks the 1-year anniversary of me being on YouTube, Trading Learning 101. I got a video I'm going to put out right after this one. Thank you all so much for supporting the Trading Learning 101 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day, kicking off the week on a green note. OXBR today, the big winner of the day. I made it quick, just over $200 on OXBR today. We'll get into it and break that down. Let's get into this market recap and let's go over everything that happened today. Again, I hope you guys are all having a great day. OXBR, look at this thing just go now. From 230s up to 250. There's FOMO going into this one. This stock was so predictable, though, when it broke up through this $1 area and just kept going and going and going. It's a low float stock at 3 million shares. Watching the tape in the level 2, you could just see people wanted this stock. You could see it. You could see the demand come in on it. Alright, we'll start things off with OXBR here, right off the rip. This morning, pre-market, there really was not too much gapping up pre-market. There were a few stocks that were gapping down really, really big. Nothing eye-catching really, like I said, gapping up. ARQL is still going strong. Nothing was going on. First half hour was going by. I'm thinking it's going to be a slow day. And I don't normally trade stocks or pay attention to stocks below $2. OXBR opens up today right around this $1 level. I don't even know if OXBR has news. Let's see. They placed a reassurance contract, raises capital through reassurance sidecar. If you look at the daily on OXBR, the daily is a piece of crap. You can clearly see that. The stock does not look tempting at all, but for day traders, what they like to look for, especially me, I like to see long green candles or long upper wicks. That tells me instantly that this stock loves to run. That's what I look for as a day trader. And look at how much volume on these big days here. Right here, we got 8.7 million in volume. And then we got another long wick right here. That day was 4 million in volume. How much volume we got today so far? Almost 7 million in volume. And look at from $1 spiked all the way up to $3 on this day right here. And then on this day right here, it spiked from $1.87 all the way up to $3 on this day right here as well. This stock could easily see $3 today, just like these two previous days right here, because this is all about putting it together and visualizing and thinking what other traders are thinking as well. Long bias traders come into this. All right, this has volume. It's a low float stock. It only has 3 million in shares. It shows me here with these long wicks that it loves to run. Last time it had big volume, it ran all the way up to 3. And then before that, the last time it had big volume, right there, it ran all the way up to 3. So $3, that's the goal. Let's get this up to $3. And that's the mindset you got to have. You got to visualize what other traders are thinking. I cannot preach that enough. As a day trader, fundamentals are out the door. It's all about technical analysis. Play the chart, get a feel for the chart, and at the end of the day, if you look at all these charts of the top stocks, the stocks always confined to charts, always. Nice little pop here from a buck up to a buck 50 right there, a mental level. This pulls all the way back to a buck 15, right back up to a buck 50 right there. Pulls back, hangs around the VWAP at around a buck 30, and then shoots and grinds all the way up to a buck 75. Another mental area. Remember, every 25 cents. Grinds up, grinds up, grinds up. Then that's when you start to see all this big volume come into it. And that's what I'm talking about. When you're sitting there watching the tape and watching the level two, just watching big bidders sit on the bid, and when the stock pulls back and it eats through all those big orders on the bid, and it's still holding and holding and holding, and when it moves up to the ask and it runs into a huge order on the ask, let's say 20,000 shares, 30,000 shares, and it just eats right through it, and then runs into another big order, 20,000 shares, and then eats through that. That's showing me strength. That's showing me that there is a demand for this stock when I see strength like that. This thing from a buck 75 shoots all the way up, just over $2, up to $2.30, pulls back, $2, bounces right there, up to $2.25, then pulls back, gets a big flush from $2.25 all the way down to $1.90, right there. And from $1.90, is pushed all the way back up over to, held to as support, and then ripped all the way up to $2.50. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. I traded it right here. I got in right here on this, and I sold into this pop right there. Why? Because, like I said, when you're watching the tape in the level two, you get a sense of if there really is a demand for the stock, or are there a lot of people giving supply back into the markets. Every time this thing pulled back and it would sell hard, there were big buyers stepping up on the bid, and it was holding. And when it would hit up to the ask, it would run into a huge share size, let's say again, 25,000, and it would just eat right through it, no problem. And then it would just explode. That's supply and demand basics. So, and then after it topped out here at this 245 area, it pulls back to this 225 area, and it just kept getting slammed down to this 225 area. There were big orders on the bid, and they were holding up. And for a second, this had nice range from 225 up to 240 and 245. And then it finally broke below it, flushed all the way down, 210. From 210, bounces up to 230, trended all the way back down, right at $2, that mental area. And also, the VWAP is right there. The more signs of conviction, the better. And from $2, this grinded all the way up, right to this old support right here, which is holding as resistance at 210, got over that, ran up to 225, pulled back. Now that old resistance that was there at 210 was holding as support right here. That's showing strength. And from 210, this grinded all the way up to 235. Slight pullback. And then boom, surged up to 250. It's all about analyzing the stock and getting a feel for the stock. You really will get a feel for the stock and see if it has strength or if it has weakness. But this played out very, very nicely. And just throwing Fibonacci retracements on it just for today from where the swing low down here at 95 cents all the way up to the high up here at 245. This pulled right back to the 23.6 fib level right here, right there. Bounced right off it from 210 up to 230. Blew through it a little bit, then reclaimed it. And then now the top of this fib is still acting as resistance right now. If you're buying it in this area right here, right now, you're chasing the stock. This is when it could really, really hurt you. And when it's at 240, watch, more than likely, the stock's going to flush all the way back down to 210. And then from 210, it's probably going to go back to $2, basic support. And then it's going to start moving its way back on up to that $2.50 level if demand still hangs around. You got to think like the smart money. Don't be the dumb money. Don't be the sheep and be chasing this and getting FOMO. You can't do that. If you're playing the stock at the top part of its range, that's chasing it. I've done that for so long and lost so much money when I was first starting out as a trader. Always trying to buy high of day breakouts. And I had to retrain my brain to visually look at charts and, okay, it's in a downtrend. Let the downtrend play out. All right, it's starting to bottom out. I had to visually train my brain to adjust and buy pullbacks and sell into strength and sell into that dumb money. But what else we got? XBIO today, very, very fast pump and dump. Once again, the low flow reverse split is still living on. And ever since Roland Wolf dropped that DVD, that's his trading strategy at the end of the DVD. I didn't even buy the DVD, and I know that. And if simple stuff like that, following up with traders, knowing what they're putting out, you'll be able to take advantage of this stuff in the market. XBIO today did a 1 for 12 reverse split from 830, rips all the way up to 1080, back down to 860, and then ripped all the way up to almost over $12, and then ripped right back down to 950s, grinded all the way back up to 1050s, and then right back down to 850s. Yes, this is an ugly, ugly chart. Me, I wouldn't really play this type of chart, but look what happened yesterday. Not with Acer. Which one was it? AVGR. Look at right there. Yesterday, AVGR did a reverse split. A 1 for 10 reverse split. And look what it did. It opened up at 360, ripped all the way down to around $3, that mental area. And from $3, this thing ripped all the way up to $4. And then at the end of the day, from 320, it ripped all the way back up to $4. Two opportunities on this by just keeping a close eye on this reverse split. And then if we fast forward today, XBIO, another low float reverse split, 1 for 12. from $8.50 all the way up to $12. That's a $3.50 move to the upside. All just based on somebody putting out a trading DVD with a trading strategy. He's going to have sheep following his trading strategy. And when this stuff happens, that's why they live on. So we also had VISL popping up today too. This did recently run in the past. If we look at the 15-minute here, it popped right here, and it popped right here. And then now today, it's popping again. And look at right where it's topping out at, this 220 level, because it hung around right there, and it hung around right there. So that's going to act as resistance. And look at, from this area, shoots right up to that area, and now it's acting as resistance. If it can get above 225, this thing could easily be ripping right back up to this level up here. It's all about putting that time in, and you see this stuff happen so much, and that's why I preach patterns, 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 because you just see it happen over and over again. And I'm still learning, and I've been doing this for 3 years. But look at that. No volume the previous days on this. I don't see any news on VISL. I'm pretty sure it's a low float. But right from this $1.50 level, no volume, and then all this volume just comes into it right there. And from $1.50, this ripped all the way up, topped out right there at 225. And look what this thing did, and you guys will see this happen all the time. All right, it ran up to 225. It pulled all the way back. Where did it bounce off of? You got the VWAP right there, and also it's bottoming right at this mental level, $2. From $2, this grinded all the way back up to 225. And then from that, it ripped all the way back down, bounced right at around $2 again. And from $2, it ripped all the way back up to 225, back down to $2, and then look at it, it just surged right through that $2, all the way below $2, and then when it popped back up, look at where it's finding resistance. Oh, right at $2. You see what I'm saying, guys? You see these patterns. This is what we do as day traders. We look for patterns and we take advantage of these patterns. You see this stuff happen so many times. All of these charts, you should be taking pictures of all these charts, and then over time, when you get a year under your belt, go back through and look at all these charts, and you'll see human nature never changes. It's the same thing over and 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 over again. That's all it is. Human nature never changes. History repeats itself. This is why us as traders, we study the past to prepare for the future, because the history will repeat itself. Next up here, PYX. So PYX got initiated with an outperform by Imperial Capital in a price target of $71. This in itself is a trading strategy as well. And this is why I highly recommend you guys start a playbook Start documenting plays, writing down what you like to look for in plays, and add charts to your playbooks along with writings. Somebody upgraded this stock, or they initiated it to an outperform and put a price target of $71. This is going to attract volume. And then yesterday this was at $13.30. Today it gaps up to a high pre-market of $16.75. Market opens up here just above 17, and look at it sells all the way down, and look at right where it bounced at, $16, a mental area, a whole dollar level, and from 16 it ripped all the way back up to 17. Look at that, right there. The first 15 minutes of the day could have made $1 profit on some shares. And then this pulled back down to 16.25 and then ripped all the way up over 18. A nice $2 grind all the way up. And we're still a half hour into the market open when this topped out at 10 o'clock. It came all the way back down. Look right where it bounced at, where it found resistance right. It bounced right, oh my goodness, bounced right here where we had resistance right there and right there. Old resistance is now holding as support, and it's at this pretty much mental level of $17, even better. And from $17, grinds all the way up to $17.75. That would have been a nice 75-cent play right there. Came back down to that support. You could see it tried bouncing, and then it surged right through it. And what do you know? That old support and resistance is now somewhat acting as resistance again at that 17 level. Keep an eye on ABIO. This thing's starting to heat up. It's starting to trend up from 660 up to 750 now. This is going to keep going off on people's scanners. This is a recent big runner. Look at that. Look at this daily. Look at how many times this thing likes to pop off. All right there. And this thing loves running up to $20. Now, it's got to get through all these moving averages, yeah. But something could be happening. This is when you take notice. When you see volume starting to push into a stock, the company could be putting a press release out soon or something. Not that I'm recommending ABIO as a buy, but this is just little stuff you have to notice as a trader. PHUN, just gap and crap. Right at the open, it had a quick spike here from $3.50 up to almost $4, and then surged all the way down below $3.50. There's a lot on my watch list today. PEC, gap and crap, EDSA. Looked like it was starting to get a little bit of volume, but no volume showed up to it. Nothing going on there. Oh, and Kern. Remember yesterday I said Kern could be a possible good bounce at around $20. Well, look what happened today. I was a little bit off, and from this $21, it got a nice rip up to 24, pulled back, and then ran all the way up to $26. And this is what I'm talking about right here. You see how this ramped up all right here? All the way up to almost $80. And then it pulled back for 3 days straight. You gotta, I call these plays rubber band plays. When a stock has a huge up move like this with huge green candle, look for the following days. The following days, you want the stock to be red and pull back. Normally, I like to see the stock pull back around the midpoint of the big green candle and then get a nice bounce and rip up. But this pulled back pretty much all the way of that green candle there. And that's why I was saying this $20 level could be a nice potential bounce on it. And it's also a mental level. And we got the 13 EMA right at $21. And today, from $21 all the way up to $26, a nice $5 rip to the upside. Same thing goes with KERNW, but KERN's a little bit more volatile. Yeah, see, there's no volume on KERNW. ALDX, big gap down today from yesterday. It was at 725. Gapped up after hours up to 8, and then today gapped down. Jeez, this is ugly. All the way to $4, and then right back up to 6. Today it opens right up at this $5 level and grinds all the way up to almost $6. That would have been a nice little play on this. This $5 mental level grinded all the way up to $6. And then it pulled right back to $5.50 and grinded right back up to $6. You see how many opportunities there are out there? And I'm pulling up multiple charts and breaking them down very, very fast. It just goes to show you there's opportunity everywhere. You don't have to play what everybody else is playing. There's always the easy money could be right around the corner. You just have to look. VVPR was the hot stock yesterday. You see how this had all this volume yesterday? And this is what I'm talking about with small cap stocks. Yesterday, this had almost 15 million in volume, going from $1 all the way up to 250. And then look what it's done today. Nothing. And you see the difference in the volume? Yesterday, today. That's what I'm talking about with small cap stocks. Volume comes and goes. Every day is something new. And look what happened. Volume left this, and they all moved on to OXBR. See? No volume, no volume, no volume, no volume. And then everybody shows up to party. That's what happens in small cap land. IMUX still on watch after that big ramp up from over 10 up to almost $20. Same thing. Just like KERN. This is going to be on watch for a nice possible rubber band play as this pulls back the coming days. And then last but not least, ACER, big gap down from $20 all the way down to $3.50. Starts grinding its way on up pre-market all the way up to 530. And then right when the market opens from this 550 level, it's sold all the way down to almost $4, right up to 450 level. This was on watch for me to see if it could get above this 450 level, but it just couldn't, and it just kept hanging around, and it's still hanging around, and it's going sideways. But this was on watch for me because a lot of times I'll see it, a stock will have a big gap down, and either on its first day or second day, the stock will try to fill some of the gap of its recent big gap down. Take a look at the SPY real quick. Yesterday, it was just choppy, as you could see right here, just back and forth, and then it just trickled its way down as the day went on. And then this morning, futures were opening mixed, got a big sell-off, little bounce up to the VWAP, and it's just continuing to make lower lows as the day goes on. Market's starting to get a slight of a pullback after it rallied last week. And if we look here on the daily chart, you know, right from this level, we just rallied all the way up and even broke over and made all-time new highs. So it's perfectly normal and healthy for us, you know, a stock in the market to just get a pullback, consolidate, and then just continue to move on. A stock in the market just can't keep going up and 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 up. But that's going to about wrap it up for this recap, guys. I hope you guys are all having a great trading day, starting the week off green. If you didn't trade today, don't worry. Tomorrow's always a new day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And until next time, guys, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. And happy 1-year anniversary to Trading Learning 101. Cheers to next year. Year number 2 of Trading Learning 101. This is only the beginning, guys. And it's just going to get better and better, so stick around. Smash that subscribe button. Big things are ahead. Alright, everybody. Later.